Well, today on Money Tuesday, we are talking about long-term care premiums and why some policies are seeing increases, some as much as 60%. Well, Michael Wagner is from the Welch Group. He is here with us today to talk about why this is happening and what we can do about it if you're affected. Good morning.
Good morning. First, let's talk about how we got here. You know, these policies were written 15 years ago. And when the insurance companies originally wrote them, they thought they'd be similar to life insurance policies, where you've probably had a life insurance policy that's either for work or some other reason that you've just let lapse. You no longer have it now. The insurance companies thought these long-term care policies, people would let these lapse as well. One big difference is, you never benefit from a life insurance policy. It's always your heirs that benefit from it. Long-term care policy, this is actually, you benefit for it actually when you're in need the most of when you can't take care of yourself. So they just haven't had these lapse rates of what they thought. So the premiums are not nearly fulfilling what the expenses of these policies are.
So the lapse rates happen, they keep money they never paid out.
Correct.
Okay.
So you've put money in and you never get any money out. And they thought they'd have a big, just like life insurance policies. That didn't happen. So companies are sending out these notices for 60% increases in fees.
That's impossible for people to fathom.
It really is. It's really hard. So we're getting a lot of calls. What do we do? So really, we see really four choices to do. The first one is you possibly could reduce your benefit. The average person, the average female, stays in a long-term care facility for about 3 years. The average male for about 2 years. So if your benefit period is a lot longer than 2 or 3 years, you could actually look to cut that back to more in line with it. The other is the daily benefit. Right now in Alabama, the average cost for nursing care is about $200 a day. So if your benefit is $250 or $300, you could look to cut that back as well. The other is the inflation rider. A lot of these policies were written with, they were going to increase by 5% a year compound. You could actually look to drop that inflation rider back from 5% to 3%. That would save you a good bit of premiums. The fourth one, and this is actually what we're recommending to most of our clients, is just pay the higher premium. We still think that these policies, even at the higher 60% increase, are still cheaper than what it would be. They still are underpriced. The other thing is, they're not writing these insurance policies anymore. You could not go out and get the same policy that you could 15 years ago. We think that if you can work it into your budget, we think it most of the time makes sense.
So if you can, you don't want to let that lapse. You don't want to let that go because you couldn't buy that again.
Correct, absolutely. So it's a tough situation for a lot of these people that have thought they were getting this coverage. They were setting a set amount.
Frustrating.
The fine print of it allows the insurance companies to increase the premiums by 60%. So it's a big surprise to a lot of people.
All right, so just look at your policy, see what you've got, and perhaps get with someone if you feel like you have concerns about that. Michael, thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, up next, we're going